Don't they have GPS on this thing? There's got to be a better way. I mean, just thinking the same thing for the crypto markets. How do you navigate those things? I mean, do I buy Bitcoin? Do I buy Ethereum? Do I buy altcoins? I mean, everything's crashing right now. Did you know they had maps in crypto? They actually tell you the direction of the markets, when you should be investing in altcoins, when you should degen, when you should not degen, when you should play with NFTs. There's actually some really easy analytics you guys can use in order to navigate these crypto markets. In today's KuCoin DigiDive, we're going to talk about 3 things you guys can use to navigate the crypto markets and make the best decisions based on probabilities. One of the best tools you guys can use is the Bitcoin dominance chart. This will actually give you the direction of the markets. This is the very first tool. Typically when Bitcoin dominance is high, this is when it's Bitcoin season. This means that risk is off. People are risk off and they're either going in Bitcoin, stablecoins, and potentially Ethereum. So far, Bitcoin dominance has been a tall tale sign of where the market is going. Let me show you a chart on Phantom so I can give you guys an exact example. We're going to go and pair the price of Phantom against BTC. This is when it was at its all-time highs. This was January 14th, 2022. This is when Phantom was at its peak price. Can you take a guess on what the Bitcoin dominance was like? Well, this is January 14th, January 15th, whatever. How about we go ahead and take a look at the Bitcoin price between January 14th and January 15th. As you guys can see here, right here, it was around $38,000, all the way from a high of $69,000. This is what Bitcoin dominance can tell you. As Bitcoin dominance goes down, these altcoins go up. The capital flows like this. If people are interested in cryptocurrency, everybody knows Daddy Bitcoin is the people to go into. So they go into Daddy Bitcoin. Now, after Daddy Bitcoin, where do they go next? Well, it's typically Ethereum. And this year, it was some of the other L1s. But it goes Bitcoin, it goes Ethereum, and then it goes into the altcoins. Now, after the altcoins like Phantom, Avalanche, Cardano, any of those, it now goes into the altcoins on those chains. And this is where we get partially into the second metric. This is liquidity mining incentives. I'll get into that later in this video, but I want to end this part on Bitcoin dominance. When Bitcoin dominance is getting ready to peak, that is typically the best time, not financial advice, to get out of the altcoins and go into Bitcoin. As you can see here, if you would have traded from altcoins into Bitcoin down at this peak and popped up here, you actually would have, basically doubled your stack. And you would have protected the downside against the altcoins. So you would have more than doubled, because if you held the altcoins, you would have got completely wrecked. Not financial advice. Me personally, what I look to do in the crypto markets is accumulate as much Bitcoin and as much Ethereum as I possibly can. So that's enough for Bitcoin dominance. If you guys are enjoying this video so far, make sure you guys smash out that like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you guys leave a comment in the description below on what you guys think of Bitcoin dominance. Now, the second one we look at is following the money. This is super important to do. I'm going to show you an example, and this is literally night and day. Let's go and go to the $800 million liquidity mining incentive from Near Protocol. Now, where's this $800 million going to? Well, it's to support ecosystem growth. Now with these devs, they're coming over, they're building. So this means people go where the money is at. So my thoughts are, okay. So if there's money coming over here, well then maybe it would be a good trade, because if the money is going in, they're going to buy the coin or the other altcoins and bring additional monies over there. It says October 25th though. Is this when this started? Well, let's go and look at the inflows on Near Protocol. That's so weird. Most of the inflows were on December 24th. Wouldn't you think it would happen back in November? Take time to read the article, and as you guys can see here, at the bottom, it says, and then to a few hundred in Q1 2022. So this is going to be Q1 2022 when they will start funding the projects. When does Q1 start? Oh yeah, that's January 1st. As you can see here, most of the inflows happened around December 24th to about January 7th or January 5th, whatever you want to call it. So most of the inflows came around that time. Now, you saw this article actually came out a month before this actually happened. Now, seeing that the announcement actually happened a month before the actual incentive was issued, you can see that you could have front ran the opportunity by buying the Near token or some of the altcoins and then selling as new money comes in. A lot of traders actually do this. So this is how you can navigate the markets and analyze and say, oh, okay, this is what's going to happen next. And of course, you can plan accordingly for that. So following the money to see where it goes and where these liquidity mining incentives are given. That's how you can follow it. It happened with Binance Smart Chain with their liquidity mining incentive. It happened with Polygon. It happened with Avalanche. It happened with Near Protocol. It also happened with Phantom. It happens with each and every one of these liquidity mining incentives because people are chasing after the money. Following where the money goes is one of the ways you can front run an opportunity like that. Now, the last thing I want to go over is the narratives. This has to do with DeFi. This can be NFTs. This can be GameFi. There's so many different metrics you guys can look at with narratives. Let me give you an example of one of the super popular narratives. It was Olympus DAO. But was Olympus DAO the biggest one? Not so much. They actually had several other ones that came after this. They had one called Wonderland, and a lot of people remember that. A lot of people made a bunch of money. A lot of people lost a bunch of money. That was one of those things that coined the term 3-3. No, not like a three-pointer, but 3-3 as in like I hold, you hold, we all win. It was kind of a meme, but you also had several others that came up out of that. You had one like called Phantom. You had one called Snow Dog, which actually ended up being Snow Rug. They rugged a bunch of people and a lot of people lost money. But there were several different forks that launched out of this. Why do I mention this? The reason I mention this is because it is a narrative and it's a trend. The people who got in early on Olympus DAO and the ones that missed out wanted to be in early on something. So they started a new one. So if you would have gotten in early on those other forks or the other narratives, as long as they weren't rugs, you got in, got out, you could make a quick buck. Now, bear in mind, now literally, pardon the pun, this is not degen mode right now. The markets are kind of rough with external economy circumstances. But in general, when it's not PvP, when there's new money coming into the ecosystem, you have better chances of not losing as bad. Whereas right now, I'm in, you're in, and we're waiting on the next person to get in. That's typically how these things work. You have to remember, you have to consider them like Ponzi's. And once you do that, you can do extremely well. Don't be the bag holder. There are going to be times you are going to be the losers. Best thing to do is cut your loss and move on. That's typically how it rolls. Now, you also simply have narratives besides just the 3-3. You have one with NFTs. They can be a free mint NFT. It can be one with a 5,000 supply, a 500 supply, or it can simply just be a GameFi narrative where DeFi Kingdoms is popping off. So now any other game that looks like DeFi Kingdoms is going to be like, this is the next DeFi Kingdoms. I'm going all in. That is what you look for. Those are the type of narratives. Those are the type of trends that you want to look for. So when you see a trend like that and you spot it, you can make a trade on it and you profit from it. Now, of course, the classic saying, the trend is your friend until the end, always applies here. There are going to be times that you lose money, but the goal is your wins, they need to compensate for your losses, and you're a winner. Now, those are 3 of my favorite things that I like to use when navigating the crypto markets. But only using those are just the beginning. You need to make sure you follow these 4 steps in executing those 3 rules. And these 4 steps all go around being disciplined. And who is disciplined? Sells when he thinks it will never come down. He buys when he thinks it will die. He passes when everyone thinks it's going to be the next big thing. And he resists when he wants to throw his life savings at it. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. Always understand that you're not right all of the time. The market is the one who is always right. Have discipline. Buy low, sell high. I know it's easier said than done. Even with losses, cut the losses short. Don't let them extend. Move on to the next. You will live for another day. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, there's a time to degen and there's a time to not degen. This strategy is typically for the bull market when you're following the money and you're catching narratives and trends. Right now, it's capital protection mode. You need to protect your capital for the next bull market. The reason why it looks like capital protection mode is this bad boy right here. You guys can see Bitcoin dominance is saying, bro, I've been held down too long, just like a cork underwater. I'm ready to shoot back up. What happens with Bitcoin dominance? Well, when Bitcoin dominance goes higher, then all the altcoins suffer. That's typically how it rolls, guys. So in summary, the three things we look for is Bitcoin dominance. Where's Bitcoin dominance at? What is it looking like? Second, follow the money. Where's the money going? Third, what are the trends? What is everybody talking about? Is it 3-3? Or is it, oh, this is going to be the next DeFi kingdoms? Or, oh, it's got VE tokenomics like Curve. It's going to be saucy. That's what you guys need to look for. Let's go and hit you guys with a wisdom one-liner. Proverbs chapter 15 verses 30. Light in a messenger's eye brings joy to the heart, and good news gives health to the bones. Be good, be nice.